Hola amigos, Javier here for A Hum of the Earth, signing in from Campeche, Mexico, the place I've recently called home for the next little bit here. And today we are going on a particularly frightening adventure. For the better part of the last few years, I've been bicycling around the world, and I have not gone for a stop to the dentist. Which may be of little surprise to some of my viewers. And yeah, so I say that this is a particularly frightening adventure because who knows what will be the result here. If I can just get away with the cleaning, or if there's going to be some cavities involved. Oh, this is a dead end here. Gonna have to turn around. Or maybe even something worse. My wallet definitely hopes not. So my strategy here to hopefully get a honest dentist here is that I've asked my landlord, who she uses as a dentist, well, firstly asking if she knows an honest dentist, a good and honest and well-priced dentist, and she did have someone, and she forwarded me their number and address, and then set up an appointment with a WhatsApp message. So I've never had dental work done in Mexico, and I don't know what to expect. Hopefully it is a decent quality for a lower price than I would pay in Canada or the US. Fingers crossed. All right, I think this is the place. No receptionist. Lots of newspapers in the waiting room. So I didn't find a receptionist. I found this door here. I opened it and I walked in on someone getting their teeth drilled. So excuse me to that person, and I guess I'll just wait in the waiting room here. Actually don't know how clean my teeth are since I just ate pizza, but take my word for it, they are a lot better than they used to be. So as I sat in the dentist chair, I started to feel a little bit guilty that I hadn't gone to see a professional in 3 years, and that I had a significant layer of tar on my bottom teeth. But she looked at it and she said, okay. And she got to work. And boy, did she work. But only for about like 20 to 25 minutes, I think. Which I would have thought would have taken quite a bit longer given the build-up, but anyway, she did quick work. This was the main dentist. There seemed to be a dentist and a hygienist there. The actual dentist was doing the work, and the hygienist was just kind of passing her things. And at the end, they show my teeth, and I am super happy. They looked a lot better. And so I asked the lady, was there anything that you saw? Because I didn't want to ask specifically for a checkup, because usually they charge an additional fee for that, and sometimes there's an x-ray. And anyways, I figured if you're cleaning my teeth, you'll be able to see if there's something wrong. And she said, oh, it's mostly fine. There is this one little thing, is that you have some gray on one of your molars. And she says something like, I'm gonna have to change and clean the racina, is what I heard, which I figured meant root, because racine in French means root, and often a lot of words in French and Spanish are pretty similar. I've gotten a root canal on that tooth previously, like 15 years ago. So I thought she was saying that she needed to kind of open up that root canal and I guess take out whatever filling they put in the root canal and exchange it. And by the way, just quickly, a root canal is a procedure where a cavity causes the tooth nerve to rot or be infected. Then you have to open up the tooth to get it out and then fill it back with some sort of material. So I thought maybe the material was not good or something. So that was a little bit worrying, but I was still in good mood since I didn't really have any new cavities, you know, after 3 years. So I asked her how much it was going to be, and she said 350 pesos, which I was like, oh, that's no problem at all. But it seemed odd, given that, you know, this is a pretty big surgery to go back and kind of repair a root canal. Like, it's not any dentist that can do this. It has to be a dental surgeon with a certain amount of experience to pull off this kind of procedure. And in Canada, it's like $1,000, or the US as well, or over $1,000. So that seemed pretty odd, but I don't know, I'm not used to the prices for dental work here in Mexico, so I said sure. Then I go to pay for the cleaning, and that was 350 pesos, so the same amount. So that's $15, which is still very cheap. It's 10 times cheaper than a cleaning like this would have been in Canada or the US. It would have been approximately $150. So while I'm paying, she asked me if I take my face mask off since I'm socially distanced. She asked me if I want to book the next appointment, and I did not agree to that since I need to think it over. So as one does when you're thinking about an important decision, I decide to call my mom and just talk it out. And while I'm recounting the facts of everything to her, we kind of come to the conclusion that it doesn't really all add up, since she would have probably asked to do an x-ray or something before doing this kind of intense procedure. And I said, well, maybe she doesn't have an x-ray. It was a pretty small office. If she didn't have one, then she'd probably send me somewhere where there was one. Anyway, so then I come to the idea that maybe I didn't understand her well. And after doing a bit of Googling, I found out that she did not talk to me about a racina, because that isn't a word in Spanish. But what is a word is resina, which is resin. which is something you put over your teeth after like a cavity or a procedure or something. So she was actually just telling me that the resin, or at least I think, is coming off, and that I need to reapply some, or take off the old one and then reapply some, which would make more sense with the price that she quoted me. So that was a pretty big relief, but again, I am not sure yet. That's just my current best guess. Part of the fun of getting dental work done in a language that is not your first or second. So I messaged the dentist to confirm that that's indeed what she meant, and she said yes. And then I told her, well, I have had a root canal on that tooth, does that change anything? And she asked me, well, how long ago? And I said 15 years. And then she recommends that I put in a porcelain crown, because teeth that have had a root canal or any type of significant structure change are prone to breaking, and that's what she would recommend. So then I had to do another deep dive about crowns and everything. And I was assuming that I had a crown, and I was reading that 15 years is how long ago how long a crown usually lasts. So then I contact my dentist back home in Canada and ask them for all the information, and it turns out I don't have a crown, that it was just a filling on top. Which is what she initially proposed to do. So now I've messaged her again, and I will be going back for what hopefully will be the finishing touches here. And it is done. Got myself a new filling. So that's a picture of my old filling, which was worn down. And here's a picture of the new one. Again, for the low price of 350 pesos, which I might have said earlier was $15 US, but it's actually like $17.50 US. So 350 pesos for the cleaning and 350 pesos for the new filling. So overall, I'm very happy with how everything turned out. Happy with the fact that I didn't have to get extensive dental work done, which would have just been unpleasant and somewhat expensive, but not really that expensive even if I did have multiple cavities and whatnot, just because of how cheap it was to get dental work done here in Campeche, Mexico. So really grateful for that, and I hope you guys learned something from doing this video. If ever you're in another country, you know, there's pros and cons to getting dental work done. The standards might be different than in the country you're living in. So a good practice is finding someone you trust and asking them, if they can recommend a good dentist. And like you saw, the only kind of hiccup that I had was with the communication barrier. Even though I speak decent Spanish and understand it mostly, it's definitely not 100%. And if you speak even less of the language than I did, then you can be in for a tough time. There's always the option of using Google Translate with the dentist, but that can be kind of awkward, and that's not 100% accurate either. But yeah, it can definitely be worth it financially. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Currently looking at the historical center of Campeche, the city that the videos will be coming from. for the next little bit here, and I'm pretty excited to be here. Looks like a cool city with a lot to see and do. With a lot of cool history. And I've already met some cool people. So stay tuned for that.